The space station Keth 9 floated alone at the edge of alien space. It was old and broken. Lights flickered, metal walls were cracked. Most species avoided this place. Humans were not welcome here. Long ago, humans had fought a brutal war in this region. Even now, the station remembered. Human signs were removed. Human voices were rare. But one human still lived here. His name was Evan Cole. Evan was an engineer. He lived deep below the station, inside a narrow maintenance tunnel where pipes dripped water and machines never slept. He fixed broken systems that no one else cared about: air filters, power lines, ancient doors. He spoke to machines more than people. That was safer. Evan learned to stay invisible. He walked with his head down. He avoided patrols. He never caused trouble. Until one quiet cycle, everything changed. Evan was repairing a power relay when he heard soft footsteps behind him. He froze. No alarms, no guards, just slow, careful steps. He turned. A small alien girl stood in the dim corridor. Her species was known across the galaxy for sharp vision and glowing eyes that could see heat, movement, even lies. But this girl's eyes were different. They were dull, empty. She did not blink. She was blind. The girl held the wall with one hand, feeling her way forward. She was thin, wearing old clothes. Burn scars marked the skin around her eyes. Evan lowered his tool. "You shouldn't be down here," he said gently. She tilted her head toward his voice and smiled. "My name is Lyra. You are the human." Evan felt a cold twist in his chest. Humans were noticed too easily here. "How do you know that?" he asked. "I hear things, and people whisper when you pass." Evan hesitated. "Where is your family?" Lyra's smile faded just a little. "They hide me," she said. "They say I bring shame. My eyes were burned in the war, radiation storms." Evan knew those storms. Humans had caused many of them. Still, Lyra did not cry. She did not sound angry. She stepped closer and asked a question so quiet it almost broke him. "Human, what is color?" Evan stopped breathing. No one had asked him something so simple in years. He sat beside her on the cold floor. "Color," he explained, "was feeling. Blue was calm like deep water. Red was heat and danger. Green was life that refused to die." Lyra listened like every word was precious. After that day, she came back, again and again. She waited for Evan near the tunnels. She asked about stars, clouds, rain, and sunsets. Evan talked until his voice grew tired. He forgot to be afraid. One day, while checking her eye scars with a medical scanner, Evan noticed something strange. The damage was deep, but not complete. Her optic nerves were still alive, waiting. Evan's hands trembled. Human neural tech could fix this. Experimental, illegal, but possible. He looked at Lyra, smiling in the dark. Helping her would break interstellar law. Helping her would make him a criminal. And somewhere above them, a small security drone powered on. Its red eye glowed. It recorded everything. Evan Cole knew the rules very well. Human neural optics were banned across the galaxy. Humans were allowed to use them only on themselves. Using this technology on an alien was a crime worse than theft or murder. The punishment was clear: execution. Evan stood alone in his hidden workshop beneath Keth 9. Old lights buzzed above him. Broken machines surrounded the narrow room. This was where he fixed things no one else wanted. Now he was building something that should not exist. The device was small and ugly. It was made from scrap metal, human circuit boards, and alien crystal wiring stolen from broken sensors. Wires crossed like veins. A thin band curved around where eyes should be. Every part was risky. Every part was illegal. Evan worked slowly, carefully. His hands shook more than usual. One mistake could burn Lyra's mind forever. Behind him, Lyra sat quietly on a crate. She trusted the sound of his voice. She trusted his hands. "You don't have to do this," Evan said softly. Lyra smiled. "I already see more than before. You showed me the stars with words." Evan closed his eyes. That trust hurt more than fear. When the device was ready, Evan knelt in front of her. He cleaned the burns around her eyes and placed the band gently against her skin. The crystals glowed faintly. This was the point of no return. If the station detected the tech, security would respond. If human command found out, they would not ask questions. Evan connected the final link. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the lights in the tunnel flickered. A low warning tone echoed through the station. Unauthorized human neural signal detected. Evan's blood turned cold. "Lyra, I'm sorry, and I hope this works." The device activated. Light exploded inside Lyra's mind. Her body stiffened. Her breath stopped. Evan panicked. Then she gasped. She screamed. Evan grabbed her shoulders. "It's okay, I'm here." But her scream was not pain. It was wonder. Lyra's voice shook. "I can see." Tears ran down her face as her eyes focused for the first time. She stared at Evan like he was made of light. "You are real," she whispered. She turned toward the small window in the tunnel. Beyond it, stars burned in silent beauty. "They are so bright," she said. Evan laughed and cried at the same time. For one perfect moment, the galaxy felt kind. Then the station's alarms grew louder. Across the sector, hidden sensors activated. Human command networks lit up. Long silent protocols awakened. Human special recovery forces deployed. Elite soldiers prepared for rapid insertion. Black armor, no symbols, no mercy. Their orders were short and final. Retrieve the engineer, erase the technology. The alien girl is collateral. Back on Kef 9, Lyra sensed the change. She saw fear on Evan's face. "What is wrong?" she asked. Evan looked up toward the ceiling. He felt it before he heard it, a deep vibration. A shadow passed over the station. Outside, space bent as a massive ship dropped from warp. A human warship, its weapons charged, its scanners locked onto one small tunnel below the station. Evan took Lyra's hand. "They're coming," he said. And for the first time since she could see, Lyra saw fear in human eyes. The space station Keth 9 went into full lockdown. Red lights flashed along every corridor. Heavy doors slammed shut. Warning sirens screamed in alien languages. Evan did not wait. He grabbed Lyra into his arms and ran. Smoke filled the lower levels as security systems overloaded. The floor shook under his feet. Somewhere above them, metal screamed as elite troops cut their way inside.
They were coming fast. Human soldiers in black armor breached the outer ring. Their movements were smooth and silent. They did not shout. They did not hesitate. They moved like machines trained only to kill. They were the best humanity had, and they were hunting one of their own. Evan ran through twisting corridors he knew by heart. Pipes burst overhead, spraying steam. Sparks fell like rain. Lyra clung to his neck, her new eyes wide with fear. She could see everything now. The flashing lights, the armored soldiers on security screens, the fear on Evan's face. She saw humans hunting a human. "Why are they doing this?" Lyra asked, her voice shaking. Evan did not answer. She already understood. As they hid behind a collapsed wall, Lyra watched.
The shot never came. The soldier's finger stopped just before the trigger clicked. Behind him, heavy footsteps echoed through the station core. More elite soldiers entered the room, weapons ready, eyes sharp. But they did not fire. They saw the device on Lyra's face. They saw her eyes. One of the soldiers raised a scanner. Light passed over Lyra's pupils. Data flowed across his visor. His breath caught. This shouldn't be possible," he whispered. More scans followed. Medical data flooded every helmet in the room. Neural connections, repaired tissue, perfect signal transfer. Human technology had not damaged her. It had saved her. Silence filled the room. Back on the command ship, officers stared at their screens in panic. The data reached them seconds later. Systems confirmed it again and again. The human engineer had done the impossible. If this knowledge spread, everything would change. Humans were feared across the galaxy for their wars, their weapons, their rage. But healing? Hope? That was power of a different kind. Command reacted fast, too fast. "Contain the breach," an officer ordered. "Eradicate all evidence. Full orbital fire authorization." The station shook. Far away, alien ships appeared at the edge of the system. They had detected human weapons powering up. Old enemies rushed toward the station. Keth 9 was about to become a battlefield. Inside the core, Evan felt the tremors. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lights died one by one. "We don't have time," a soldier said quietly. Evan looked at the men and women around him. These were humans, trained to obey, trained to kill. But their weapons were lowering. Their voices were unsure. Lyra stood in the center of the room, seeing everything clearly now. "You fear this," she said softly, "but it saved me." Evan's mind raced. He knew what command would do. They would erase the station, erase the girl, erase the idea. Unless... Evan turned toward the broadcast console built into the station core. It was old but powerful. It connected to every trade route, every relay. One upload, one chance. He ran to it. "Stop him!" command shouted through the soldiers' comms. No one moved. Evan's hands flew across the controls. He uploaded the full design, every code line, every scan, every test result. Human neural optics for all species. No secrets, no control. The system began to broadcast. Across the galaxy, screens lit up. Doctors watched in shock. Scientists leaned closer. Worlds listened. Evan turned back to the soldiers and to Lyra. "Humans are not gods," he said calmly, "but we fix what's broken." The broadcast finished. The data was free. Command screamed in rage. Weapons locked onto Keth 9. Targeting systems glowed. Outside, alien ships and human warships faced each other in silence. Inside the station, oxygen failed. Walls cracked. Fire spread.
Lyra held Evan's hand. "They will remember this," she said. Evan smiled sadly. "I hope so." High above the station, massive cannons powered up. The final countdown began. The space station Keth-9 did not survive. From a distance, it looked like a dying star. Human weapons struck the station again and again. Metal broke apart. Fire bloomed in silent space. Then there was nothing. The station was gone. Human command listed the result quickly. Engineer Evan Cole, confirmed dead. Illegal technology destroyed. The galaxy moved on. But the report was wrong. Lyra survived. An alien rescue ship found her drifting inside a small escape pod. Her eyes were open, clear, alive. She was holding a broken piece of human metal close to her chest. Doctors rushed to her side. They scanned her eyes. They stopped breathing. The damage was gone. Across the galaxy, the broadcast Evan had sent continued to spread. Doctors replayed it again and again. Scientists tested the design. Engineers rebuilt the device using local materials. It worked. On one world, a blind soldier saw his child for the first time. On another, an old alien artist saw color again. On dozens of worlds, darkness ended. Blindness became history. And with every success, one truth became clear. Humans had not conquered the stars. They healed them. The galaxy began to change the way it spoke about humans. No longer destroyers, no longer monsters of war. They were given a new name: Engineers of Hope. Years passed. Lyra grew older. She stood one day inside the great council hall, a massive chamber where dozens of species gathered. Light from 1,000 stars shone through the ceiling. She could see it all. She stood straight and strong. When the council asked her why she spoke for humans, she told them a story. She spoke of a quiet engineer who fixed broken machines, of dark tunnels and simple words, of stars described to a girl who could not see. She spoke of a man who chose compassion over fear. He could have saved himself, Lyra said, but he chose to save everyone. The hall was silent. Some wept. Some bowed their heads. Far from the council, far from war and law, a human lived on a quiet world near the edge of known space. He worked in a small workshop. His name was not important anymore. He fixed broken limbs, rebuilt damaged nerves, helped those no one else would. He never asked for thanks. Sometimes at night, he looked up at the stars and wondered if Lyra was happy. She was. And across the galaxy, whenever someone opened their eyes for the first time, the story spread again. Not of conquest, not of victory, but of healing.